And the National Production Sedan title here at Wahgunyah for 2016-17 is all go, and Daniel Henshaw got the best of the dispatch, and with him is Tim Green, the national champion. They head them up into turn number one the first time. Stuart Fawcett has snuck into third place, so they go up into the top turn. Back there in fourth place, it looks like it could be Rodney Anderson. Back to Daniel Creek in fifth place as they head down the back straight, the first of 12 times. Jason Boardman is in sixth place as they move out of Pitts Bend the first time. Oh, there's a puddle down there, and going straight through the puddle on the corner was Rodney Anderson. Goes into the side of Tim Green. Green and Anderson up against the fence. As they move down the main straight, Anderson's lost out on that occasion. It's Daniel Henshaw out in front. Second place, Stuart Fawcett. Back then to the national champion. In third place, Tim Green. But they're a long way behind already. It's a race in two, and Tim Green is out. He's out with damage to the front of his car after that contact with Rodney Anderson. Anderson's also in trouble, and going into third place is Daniel Creek. But it's a race in two. The rest of them are in a totally different league at the moment. Out in front is Daniel Henshaw. Right up behind him is Stuart Fawcett. And they're a mile in front, and literally it is a mile between them because this place is so big. They're going to be out of the back straight before the rest of them even find it. Out in front, it's Daniel Henshaw from Stuart Fawcett. They're not even in the same straight. Daniel Creek is third. Fourth place is Jason Boardman. Charlie Ball is there along with, one car has gone around. It's gone super sideways, has rescued it. Terry Malak went underneath. Selena Jennings went around the outside. The yellow lights have come on, and we've got ourselves a lengthy delay. We're about to get back underway. Green flag is out. They're away and racing. Once again, Henshaw the leader from Daniel Creek. Back in third spot, Charlie Ball and Stuart Fawcett. Fawcett looking to get under Charlie Ball up in the top turn. Back to Brett Norman in fifth place, Terry Malak sixth, then back to Selena Jennings in seventh. Stuart Fawcett goes into third, and also Brett Norman goes into fourth. Ball goes back to fifth, but out in front it's Daniel Henshaw from Queensland who leads them. So we've now completed 3 of 12. Creek in second, Fawcett, then Norman, Ball, Malak, Jennings, Jason Boardman the next one through. A long way back then to Gemma Laidlaw, and Rodney Anderson is just circulating at the moment. And Daniel Creek's in trouble on the back straight, has spun in front of the field. Great driving by Brett Norman. Yellows are out again. Yellow lights are on. Into the main straight, the national title. Heat number one is still going. And we're back underway with Henshaw, Fawcett, Norman, Ball, Malak. Selena Jennings is sixth, then Jason Boardman seventh. First move comes from Daniel Creek. He's in eighth spot as he's gone around the outside of Gemma Laidlaw. Out in front though, as they get to the end of the very, very long back straight, is Daniel Henshaw. Comes out of turn four. He leads with 1/3 of the race done now. 4 down and 8 to go. Fawcett, Norman. Back to Ball, Malak. Sixth place, Selena Jennings, and Boardman is seventh as they disappear up into the top turn. It's a race in 3. Brett Norman up behind Stuart Fawcett, who's up behind Daniel Henshaw as they go down into Pitts Bend. Out in front, Daniel Henshaw in the Immaculate 110 leads them into the main straight from Stuart Fawcett. Brett Norman in third place. A gap in fourth place now could be Terry Malak coming underneath the Charlie Ball. They run side by side, and right behind them is Selena Jennings. That's the top half dozen. That's certainly a race in 3 as Stuart Fawcett now looking for an inside run down into turn number one. You could almost get through, but couldn't quite do so. He could almost draft out of turn 3 and 4 as they move into the main straight. He runs up on the inside of Henshaw now at the halfway mark. 6 down and 6 to go. Right up on the back bumper, it's Henshaw from Fawcett. Third place is Norman. Then the freight train behind them, Terry Malak, Charlie Ball, then Jennings and Boardman. As Fawcett again has a look down into turn number 3. They're going to come up on the ailing Rodney Anderson. So they come out of Pitts Bend. Henshaw just out in front. Second place, Stuart Fawcett. Back to Brett Norman in third. A long way back to the main body of the field as they go underneath the ailing Rodney Anderson up into the top turn. 5 to go. Out in front, Daniel Henshaw is the race leader. Fawcett in second place. Racing in third all by himself is Brett Norman. Then the main body of the field, headed up by Terry Malak as they come into the main straight. Fawcett's got Henshaw off the curb, and Stuart Fawcett hits the front. Going up into turn number 1. So Fawcett now leads from Henshaw. Third place is Norman. Malak is 4th. Back in 5th place, Charlie Ball, Jason Boardman and Selena Jennings. Behind Selena would be Daniel Creek, Gemma Laidlaw and then Rodney Anderson. Out of pits pen they come with 3 to go this time around. It's still a race in 2. Henshaw down low on the track, Fawcett up near the fence. Back in 3rd place, Brett Norman. Then the rest of them as they come into the main straight, Malak. Then back to Ball, Boardman, Jennings. Next is the 35 of Daniel Creek. Then Gemma Laidlaw. But Stuart Fawcett starting to open up a bit of a gap. There'll be 2 to go this time around in heat number 1 of the National Production Sedan title. Up the main straight they come. Fawcett leads. In 2nd place, Henshaw. Norman in 3rd. 4th place, the 91 of Malak. Then Ball, Boardman, Jennings and Creek. Down the back straight they go. Rodney Anderson eventually has retired. White flag comes out, 1 lap to go. Stuart Fawcett still in front. He runs wide. Henshaw up behind him. Norman 3rd. They'll be out of the main straight before the leaders come, the rest of the field come through. So Fawcett leads up into the top turn by 2 car lengths from Henshaw. Back in 3rd place is Brett Norman. Back to Malak in 4th. Then Ball, Jennings, Boardman, Creek and Laidlaw. But 14.5 minutes after it started, it's finally finished. First across the line will be Stuart Fawcett in heat number 1. 2nd is Daniel Henshaw. 3rd place goes to Brett Norman. 4th place is going to be Terry Malak. 5th place is going to go to Charlie Ball, Selena Jennings, Jason Boardman. Daniel Creek has done a 360 here in the main straight and has thrown himself out of the race. Gemma Laidlaw will be next. And then 35 is...
Stuart, very good drive. Well done out down the lead there. Good battle with Henshaw in 2nd.
Yeah.
So what did you think of the track?
The track, it's starting to slicken off a little bit, but it's going to be the same from everyone. You just got to chase it and see what you do.
Yep.
I didn't mean to get into Tim Green at the first lap, just unsteered on a bit of grass there, so sorry to the Green crew. I didn't, no intention mean by it.
Yep.
I just thank everyone that helped us get down here, like S&T and...
So you're New South Wales registered. How far up did you come from?
1,350 kilometres, Lismore, New South Wales.
All right, beautiful. So the heat out there nearly took about that long to get completed. So.
Yeah, it's pretty hot, but we put up the humidity in Lismore, so it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, no worries. So very good drive, and hopefully you have a great weekend. No worries.